When I book as a first-class guest and loyal customer with Emirates Airlines, I fundamentally assume that I am especially valued, particularly as a frequent flyer and platinum member of the loyalty program. I firmly and clearly believe that such an airline, without a doubt, considers this a very good customer. And when a customer with platinum status and a first-class guest complains, I assume that it is taken seriously, and of course that they first respond to me and show me, and secondly, make a suggestion on how to possibly improve the situation that I perceive as poor. But not that they go and send me a detailed, thorough, and overly comprehensive response, making me feel like such a good airline is indeed trying to cover up something that isn't even the main and significant problem of such an airline. Instead, they could be much more honest, transparent, and actually have fewer marketing cliches on their website so that the message is much clearer and more straightforward in reality. I am saying that when I book something in first class with Emirates, I have received 99.9% of what I booked so far, unlike with many other airlines. It seems that Emirates is being deceptive here, describing things that turn out to be quite different in reality. Additionally, this kind of misleading advertisement can cause disappointment among customers. And I have a classic example of this. I flew out of Vienna with Emirates and indeed anticipated a luxurious and comfortable first-class chauffeur service to pick me up in their renowned first class. This is very clearly, thoroughly explained and elaborated by the partner that Emirates books with and who then picks me up, which is the company Black Lane. So, if I book a first-class section with Black Lane today, I definitely get an S-Class, which is a higher-end car. When I book business class, I typically get a BMW, but of course not as high-end as logically first class indeed. This distinction should logically be clear to everyone. It was clear to me, and from that perspective, it has always been the case. That means if you departed with Emirates in first class, a first-class chauffeur would also come, usually a large S-Class limousine. But recently, for example, in Vienna, an S-Class no longer arrives, but only a B-Class, namely a BMW. And that means that in the area of the chauffeur service at Emirates, from now on, and this really applies from now on, no differences are made between first class and business class, even though it is clearly stated on the website. So, when I open the website, I see 3 points. Indeed, as you can clearly see. First-class luxury from door to door, BMW service touring for business class, and chauffeur service around the globe, worldwide. Since I'm personally only interested in first class, I only look at first class, and it says, travel in our luxurious, comfortable, and spacious first-class limousine. Better to and from Dubai International. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the view. Or read your messages while our chauffeur takes over the drive. Adjust the temperature and unwind in your comfortable seat and relax. So, traveling more comfortably from Dubai International in first class certainly means nothing else to me than to Dubai International and from Dubai International. And that undoubtedly means from Vienna to Dubai as well. From Dubai to Vienna, it is logical to fly exclusively in first class. I'm only interested in first class. Why? Because I'm a true first-class passenger. But if it means that only at the airport, it really doesn't say Airport International there, although they indeed mean International Airport. The exceptionally luxurious limousines at Dubai Airport are actually meant, then it is to be understood that Emirates will specifically drive you from Dubai International to your residence, and from the residence back to Dubai International in a first-class limousine. So it should say something like this. Travel in our luxurious first-class limousine to and from Dubai International Airport, either from your hotel or to your hotel. But that's not what it says. It's written in a way that is somewhat vaguely. It says something that is probably legally fine, but as a customer, as a valued first-class customer, it does not actually clearly state what it really is. because it is not specified that I will not be picked up from Vienna to Vienna Airport in a first-class limousine, but it generally states that you travel in our luxurious first-class limousine, meaning first-class luxury from door to door. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the view from door to door, from my front door back to my front door, and take in the beautiful scenery. And even when Emirates books with a partner, the first-class area still absolutely applies, of course. Definitely. So it can't be that I am suddenly downgraded to business class at all in any way whatsoever. Why am I, and this is my concern, no longer picked up worldwide by Emirates in a first-class limousine, but only in Dubai? Because a first-class limousine is an S-Class and not a BMW Touring. And the interesting thing is that I have now also watched the current new commercial from EMIRATES on YouTube in the Chauffeur section. And it is also clear and obvious there visually we pick them up in first class when they travel first class with us. But a BMW is shown so that one can always say, well, we showed you how you would be picked up. And I think this is a real embarrassment for Emirates. If Emirates cannot clearly articulate this and instead pretends something in first class, which to me signifies a kind of dishonesty, then I am very disappointed, because I would not have expected this from Emirates, such a premium airline, to be deceived in this way. Because for me, as a regular customer who books first class, it is a deception to be led to believe that I will receive first class luxury from door to door. In Dubai, first class usually means airport to hotel and back, and elsewhere in the world it means business BMW touring. Again, why should I check business if I am a first class guest? As a first class guest? And it caught my attention because shortly before I was picked up, I received information from Emirates that Blacklane would be picking me up, but as a business class guest. And that's why I naturally wrote to the customer department in Frankfurt and asked why I am now being picked up in business. And then they just told me everything is absolutely fine and I would be picked up by a limousine. So this vagueness that's in there is just completely outrageous. And then I wrote back, but this definitely can't be your answer. There must absolutely be a difference between business and first class. The answer was just as vague as the previous one, saying that everything is in the information. And that's the problem. It's not actually in the information. In fact, it's not there at all. And then it was highlighted in yellow in the email what was actually meant. It then said first class limousine, better to and from Dubai International, which I mentioned at the beginning. They mean specifically Dubai International Airport to the hotel, but they don't clearly write it. But that's exactly what they mean. They don't say it because it would suggest that we are only picked up in a first-class limousine in Dubai. However, they do not want to publicly disclose this marketing tool. That is my impression. Therefore, they additionally write in the business class section, BMW ER service touring for business class, BMW ER touring to and from Dubai International Airport. Again, very vague. Now it says here from and to Dubai International in the business section. Why should I be interested in the business area? I'm not interested in business. Why am I getting a business limousine and not a first-class limousine? And then they highlighted point 3, chauffeur service around the globe. It says that at every destination we work with partners who offer them high quality and reliable cars. High quality isn't first love, but it's like handmade. If someone writes that the baker makes it by hand, then it's only handmade. That means, for example, he manually put industrial goods into his oven. And that's exactly what Emirates does. They are deceiving me with things not there. That isn't meant that way, because when I look at it closely and read it, it says something different. And it would be so simple. Why doesn't Emirates clearly and plainly state first-class service on their website? This includes a first-class limousine, an S-Class, from the airport to the hotel in Dubai, while worldwide there is only a high-quality BMW touring class as business class. So I am downgraded by Emirates from first class to business class. But I think that claims could be possible because As a guest, I would say, just as I am doing now, maybe many others would say the same once they realize what is happening here, that Emirates is pretending something that does not correspond to reality. Specifically, I book first class. I read that with first class I will be picked up by a top limousine, an S-class, but then globally I only get the limousine that they have negotiated with their respective partners, and that means nothing else. They made a deal with Blacklane in Vienna, paying for business class service and also picking up first class guests. That is the reality and the audacity that Emirates is pulling off. It is outrageous that they have started to reduce a half-hour massage in the first class area to 15 minutes, even though the prices have doubled. So now I pay €8,000, €9,000 for first class with Emirates and get less. But I get less because they don't tell me the reality, because they always write around the topic, nicely phrased. However, customer-friendly and customer-oriented is something completely different. Customer-oriented means that when I board and am promised caviar, I actually get caviar I want. And that's exactly what they do. The experience with Emirates is fantastic. So why do they cut corners or describe things so poorly that they suggest something and we as customers end up disappointed? I can only give Emirates the tip that as a platinum member and first-class guest, I am truly impressed and satisfied with the overall performance of Emirates. For me, it is currently the best first class in the world. There are these 2 or 3 limitations. I think, for example, that a PR service should definitely be available at the airpods and that the baggage service at the airpods should be reinstated so that first-class baggage is taken off the belt again, allowing us to access it directly upon arrival without having to stand in line with everyone else waiting for the first-class baggage to come. These are all cuts that Emirates has started, and if this continues, I will have to start finding a new airline again. Because why should I spend €8,000, €9,000 on an airline that starts increasing the price but limiting the service and quality? Then I don't need Emirates. Then at point, I can also say I'll book a private jet. Then you can book a private jet and fly to the respective countries. But this form of first class and this type of description on the website is truly, absolutely and completely an unacceptable and intolerable level of customer friendliness and service for me, which I truly cannot accept. And I find it absolutely outrageous that the Department for Used Customers in Frankfurt sends us a completely meaningless response via email, even though they surely know exactly what it says and write it as if we are really dumb customers who don't realize that they are using Asian-style phrasing to avoid addressing or tackling directly any of our main issues at all. Absolutely unacceptable.